Hello and welcome to the Aunty Lisa show. And with today in the selection was JB, Superman, Train, Volcano, Magic Wand, all of us, Cone Snail and Kwazii. Now, poor Superman got forgotten yesterday, so he made it in today. Now, we'll definitely try and include him. So I didn't mean to forget him. That was just mean. Right. So, one day, Aunty Lisa, Aleksander and Kristoffer decided to go on an epic train journey. Now, you might not know this, but you can take a train for miles and miles and miles. You could go by train almost around the world, apart from where you have to get on a boat. So, they decided to take an epic train journey. All around the world. Why not? So they packed a very well selected selection of things in their luggage, which was in backpacks so they could carry it. Things like lots of hand sanitizer and passports and such like. And they set off on their epic train journey around the world. And everything was going hunky dunky. They had a lovely train cabin all to themselves with comfy beds and a sink and a toilet. Very important. And they were just settling in for their first overnight train journey when they heard a knock on the door. And it was Clark Kent. Now, I know what you're thinking. Who's Clark Kent? You might not be thinking that. You might be like, I know who Clark Kent is. No, Clark Kent is Superman when he's not dressed in his Superman outfit. He's Superman in disguise. Clark Kent knocked on the door. And Aunty Lisa went, hey, how's it going, Superman? Clark Kent went, shh, don't call me Superman here. Nobody knows who I am. Aunty, oh, sorry. He said, can I come in? I've got some important information for you all. And they said, yeah, sure, come on into our cabin. Isn't it lovely? And he said, yeah, it's a really nice cabin, actually. You've done well here, guys. And Aunty Lisa said, well, what brings you here? We didn't know you took trains. And he said, well, ordinarily, I don't need to take trains because, as you know, I can fly. But I was taking this train on an undercover mission. And Aleksander and Kristoffer went, ooh, do go on. We love an undercover mission. And so Superman, who's Clark Kent, same person, he said, well, I'm on an undercover mission from our good friend JB. And everyone, oh yes, JB, she's our good friend, yes. She's very nice. He said, well, rumour has it that somewhere on this train there is a wizard, and he is not a friendly wizard. Aunty Lisa went, oh man, why does adventure follow us everywhere we go? And Aleksander and Kristoffer went, yee! What's wrong with this wizard? And Superman said, well, I'm told that this particular wizard has plans to take over the world. And Aleksander went, oh, I was going to take over the world with Aunty Lisa. And Aunty Lisa said, yeah, we were going to take over. That was part of the plan. Kristoffer was going to help too. We had it sorted. Oh, he can't take over the world before we manage to take over the world. Oh, fine. How are we going to stop him? Superman said, well, the key is his magic wand. So I was thinking, maybe we steal it. And Aunty Lisa said, I'm not sure I'm on board with leading Aleksander and Kristoffer into a life of crime, Superman. Are you sure about this? And Superman said, well, it wouldn't technically be crime because, as you know, he's the bad guy in this story. And Aunty Lisa said, okay, if he is the bad guy, then it's probably okay. I'm sure Mummy and Papa wouldn't mind. Okay, so what do you need us to do? And Superman explained his plan, which I won't go into now because then it'll give it away. So, here's what happened next. Aunty Lisa decides to give JB a quick call just to find out any more information about this wizard that Superman didn't already know. So they all called up JB. And JB said, "Hey, you guys, I'm really glad you're all on board. Oh, now we'll definitely be able to catch him." And Aunty Lisa said, "Well, can you tell us anything more about this guy?" And JB said, "Oh, I've been doing loads of research. Turns out he is one of the most powerful wizards that has ever been." And Aunty Lisa said, "Oh no, we don't like powerful wizards, especially when they're mean." She said, "Yeah, he has the power to take over animals and also to make the ground move." And Aunty Lisa said, "What, like a volcano or an earthquake?" JB said, "Yeah, like that." And Auntie said, "Oh, blimey, this is pretty serious. Okay, does he have any weaknesses that we can play on?" JB said, "Well, he does have some. So, number one, he's completely lost without his magic wand. That is the most important thing that he has. Number two, he actually is really quite self-conscious about his hair." And Auntie said, "What? His hair? Really?" And she said, "Yeah. He always wears his wizard's hat." And Auntie Lisa said, "Well, that sounds fairly standard. He's a wizard, right?" She said, "Yeah, but it's because he's got a bald spot. If you take that hat off, it will completely distract him and he won't know what's going on." And Auntie Lisa said, "That is devilishly mean, JB, but it might just help us. Thanks, JB. We'll be in touch." So, they all relaxed for a little while on the train because they needed to think of how they were going to distract this terrifying wizard. And they said, "Okay, we need to distract him. Maybe we can use this hat thing. How are we going to get that magic wand off of him?" So, they didn't have much time to relax before the train started going and everyone went, "Whoa!" because the train was on a track that was on the ground and the ground was moving. And they said, "Oh my goodness, it's got to be the wizard. He's making the earth shake." And they looked out of the window and they saw on the horizon a volcano. And Clark Kent, aka Superman, he said, "Oh no! If he causes the earth to shake too much, the volcano will blast off and we'll all be covered in ash and molten lava. And he will be able to take over the world for sure. This is a nightmare. We've got to act quick." Well, it was going to be super tricky. They were actually going along on the train on which this super scary wizard was starting to take over the ground beneath them. And they thought, this is super scary. So, they were actually going along the coastal railway route. There is a fly sitting on my arm. I had a shower and everything. They were going along the coastal route. So the train was going along the seaside, right? Now, who do we know who lives in the sea? The Octonauts, that's who. And actually, just at that moment, they had a call from Kwazii. And Kwazii said, "Ahoy there, me hearties." Aleksander and Kristoffer said, "Hi, Kwazii, what's up?" And he said, "Oh, it's terrible, it's terrible, me hearties. The ground is shaking under the sea. And all the animals in the sea are going crazy. Especially the cone snails. It's like there's an army of cone snails all heading towards the land. We don't know what to do. And Aunty Lisa said, oh no, that sounds terrible. An army of cone snails? They're the worst with their spitting out their horrible spiky barbed things that hurt. Oh dear, I really hope this isn't that wizard. And Kwazii said, what wizard? Oh God, not a wizard. And Aunty Lisa said, yeah, there's a wizard on board. There's a wizard on board this train. And he can move the ground. We're worried he's going to make the volcano explode and take over the world. But don't tell anyone, it's a secret mission, okay? And Superman said, Lisa, that was a secret mission. You weren't supposed to tell anyone, not even Kwazii. And Lisa said, oh yeah, sorry, but Kwazii won't tell anyone, so it's fine. Well, he can tell the Octonauts, they're very, very reliable. And Kwazii said, don't worry, I won't tell anyone apart from the rest of the Octonauts. We're going to keep an eye on things down here and see if any other animals start going crazy. And we'll let you know. So, the cone snails were going crazy, the earth was going crazy, and there was a serious threat that the volcano might go off at any moment while they were still on the train with the scary wizard. Oh my goodness. So, they said, we've got to act quick before these cone snails get on land and start shooting their horrible barbed things at the train. This is not good. So, they snuck over to the cabin where the wizard was having his dinner. And he was eating scrambled eggs on toast with tomato ketchup, which made everyone else kind of hungry because we really like scrambled eggs on toast. But anyway, that is beside the point. He was eating his scrambled eggs on toast. And they said, well, he doesn't look busy with his wand right now. Can anyone see it? They peered through the window, and on the floor next to him they spotted the wand just sitting there. It was just sitting there, just almost easy to, just about to grab. Before Aunty Lisa could do anything about it, Aleksander and Kristoffer had snuck into the room and they were trying to make for that magic wand. And Aunty Lisa was like, no! And Aleksander and Kristoffer, and they were just about to grab the wand when the wizard turned around and went, hey, you boys! What are you doing in my room? And Alexander said, we saw you drop something on the floor and we thought we would help you. And Kristoffer said, yes, we thought that you dropped your what's this stick? It looks very pretty. It's a very pretty stick. And the wizard said, I'll have that, thank you. You don't need to help me, boys. I'm a perfectly sensible grown-up. And Alexander and Kristoffer went, oh, okay. Good point. Yep. And they backed back out. They went, oh, we didn't manage it. Oh, no. Aunty Lisa said, we need a better plan than this. We've got to distract him to get that wand. So they came up with another plan that Superman had thought of. And it involved a frisbee, which is not something you usually play with on a train, but this is what they did. Alexander and Kristoffer and Aunty Lisa started playing frisbee in the corridor of the train. And would you believe it? That frisbee throwing did just the trick. The frisbee flew across the train cabin and it knocked that mean wizard's hat off and it fell on the floor. And he went, oh, my hat, my hat, my hat, my hat. And just as he was doing that, Alexander and Kristoffer went and grabbed the wand. And they went, got it. And then Superman zoomed in, having changed in the corridor into his Superman clothes, and grabbed the wizard. And he said, hey, Mr. Wizard, you're not allowed to take over the world and make everyone obey you by blowing up that volcano, you know. And the wizard went, you foiled my plan, you horrible, horrible, horrible people. But you can't stop it now. That volcano is gonna blow, and my army of cone snails are on their way to pew, 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 all of you. And Aunty Lisa went, oh no, not the blinking cone snails. She looked out the window and the cone snails had made their way out of the sea and they were en route to the train. And she went, no! And the train stopped moving. The cone snails were going to make quick work of reaching that train. Now the train had stopped. She was like, move the blinking train, somebody. It was all getting very stressful. The wizard said, no, it's too late. The volcano's going to blow. I already set it up. Nothing can stop my plan now, not even you. Ha 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 ha. And Aleksander and Kristoffer went, we'll see about that. And they stomped off with his magic wand. And Aunty Lisa stomped off behind them because last time they had a magic wand, terrible things happened. I think someone got turned into a frog. Can't remember. She quickly called up JB. She said, JB, we've got the wand and Superman's got the wizard, but he says the volcano is still going to blow. And just as she was explaining that, the volcano started rumbling and a big puff of smoke came out of it. And the ground everywhere was shaking and the cone snails were arriving on the train like pew pew. And people were like, ow, ow, get the cone snails. Ah! It was a nightmare happening. And JB said, quick, you need to cast your own magic spell. And you can stop this, but there's some special magic words. Let me see. I'll just look through this book. Aha! I've got it. You can stop the magic wand doing whatever it was set to do. You just need to say these 3 words, or 4 or 5. I can't remember how many words it was. Aleksander and Kristoffer, hold the magic wand up in the sky. And they went like this. And said, repeat after me. Izzy, Wizzy, let's get busy. And Aleksander and Kristoffer went, really? That's the magic words? Okay. Izzy, Wizzy, let's get busy. Quietness descended. Everyone looked around like, what's happened? Are we all alive? Are we okay? Everyone seemed to be okay. I said, okay. They looked over at the volcano. It had stopped puffing smoke. They looked down at the cone snails. They all looked really confused. Like, why are we here? What's going on? And they started making their way back to the sea. They can't be out at the sea for long. They're an underwater snail. And everyone was like, oh man, what just happened? And Aleksander and Kristoffer went, whoa, I can't believe that worked. And JB said, of course it worked. It's the magic words. Oh, well done, you guys. You did a brilliant thing today. Right. Now we've just got to get that wizard to jail. And Superman said, no problem, ma'am. I'm going to fly him there right now. What do you want us to do with this magic wand? And so JB said, well, it's a very, very powerful magic wand. In the wrong hands, as we know, it can cause terrible, terrible damage. It pains me to say this, but I think we should destroy it. And Aleksander and Kristoffer went, no, really? Can't do any magic with it at all? Please? And JB said, no. Know what goes wrong when you two play with magic? And they said, okay, fine. She said, the best thing to do is if Superman throws it into the volcano. And they said, okay, fine. And the wizard went, no, not my beautiful magic wand. I promise I'll be good. I promise. And Superman said, we don't believe you. And the wizard went, no, fine. I'll get you back for this one day. And so Superman took the magic wand, but tied up the wizard first. Very important step. He took the magic wand and he flew over the volcano and chucked it in. And it landed inside a little bit of lava. And it went and all sparks flew off into the sky like stars. And everyone went, that ought to have done it. And then he zoomed back, grabbed that wizard and took him to jail. And everyone went, hooray! And then they carried on their amazing adventure on the train. And they went to all sorts of amazing countries and saw amazing places along the way. And they had the best trip ever. With, of course, quite a lot of cake. And that is the end of the story. Love you. Night night.